Boomer Sooner, everybody. It is really, really, really good to be back talking about this. I love my Sooners with all my heart, as JR would say. I go to all the men's hoops games. Love the OU girls as much as anybody. But this is football states, man. This is a football state. This is where football is born. Sooner born, Sooner bred. Here we go. And that means that we got all the scouts in. We got all of the statistics in. Scouting boards, ESPN, Scout.com, all of it. All the recruits are in. We'll go over who Oklahoma got. And even some coaching changes that were made for this upcoming season. Shockingly here. Kale doing another, my buddy Kale, the former quarterback here, doing another great job getting us another top-notch running back. Bob and Mike now have another toy to play with, kind of like what Eric Stryker is, kind of like the end linebacker. We got the number one kicker to replace Michael Honeycutt, and some more surprises came as far as the coaching changes are concerned. We'll go over them all next. Don't go away. Alrighty then, everybody. Let's start with the new with the coaching changes. Start with those first, all right? Quarterback, former OU quarterback, great one, Josh Heupel, and his receiver and receivers coach and co-offensive coordinator Jay Norvell were released by the University of Oklahoma. They brought in a couple of guys to replace those key players. The wide receiver position coach will now be Dennis Simmons, formerly the wide receiver at Washington State with Mike Leach and that. So he's from the Leach family. But the big one from that point is who they brought in to replace our buddy, our friend, our compadre. By the way, good luck at Utah State, buddy, Josh Heupel. And that would be Lincoln Riley, quarterback, coach, and offensive coordinator, former OC at East Carolina. Before he was at East Carolina, he was kind of the Baker Mayfield last year for Tech, or 2 years ago for Tech, the third string quarterback for the Raiders of Texas Tech. But didn't quite have the ability to jump anybody in the league or on the bench. Didn't want to leave, so he stayed with Leach. Learned, studied with Leach, watched the computers with Leach, did all the number crunching with Leach. But he made that, so that's where this tree is. But he made this clear in his press conference. Samaje Perine is here for a reason. Joe Mixon is here for a reason, etc., etc., etc. So he will still run the ball. A little bit, I'm guessing more like like what you see from Baylor now is what you're going to see offensively. Defensively, also had to make some changes. Bobby Jack Wright, former defensive backs coach, left the program, retired from football, coaching that is. Brought in Kerry with a K, Cooks, as the DB coach, formerly Notre Dame. So a couple of years ago, he was in a national championship game, still from that Iowa tree. When he got done playing in the NFL and wanted to become a college football coach, guess where he took his talents to become a GA? Kansas State. Where? Bob, Mike, even our good old buddy Brent Venables, all of them went to Kansas State to do that. So that might tell you something. They did also promote a defensive coordinator, Jerry Montgomery, who has been with Oklahoma since the spring of last year, was promoted to defensive coordinator in the spring setting of 2015. So spring 15 and then fall of 15 throughout. He will be the assistant defensive coordinator or the co-defensive coordinator with Mikey Stoops. Lincoln Riley first. Lincoln Riley and Dennis Simmons, they have some new toys to play with. In fact, one of them, probably thanks to my boy Kale, had a lot to do with this. He always finds good running backs, does the former quarterback, and did it again. Rodney Anderson, 6'1", 205, out of Katy, Texas. He was the big-time running back that they got in from this class. Wide receivers, you got a couple of them. Dennis Simmons kind of came in late, so probably didn't have a whole lot to do with this, but probably the Lincoln Riley thing did, that he's from the same tree. But Dadu Green, wide receiver, 6'5", 190, out of Moore, Oklahoma, Westmore High School, just up the road. He will take his talents to Norman. He was going to go to Washington State. They also got another kid, 6'1", 160, out of League City, Texas, John Humphrey. A couple more receivers that they have to mess with Lincoln Riley will have to mess with as toys. One of them, D.D. Westbrook. He is, however, a junior college guy out of Blinn Community College, 6'1", 175, and then a four-year guy, in A.D. Miller, 6'3", 175, out of Dallas, Texas. They also Blake Bell type, tight end, fullback, H-back, a little bit of everything like that. Big kid like that. Adam McAllister. Dalton Wood will bring his wood to Oklahoma. Bring the wood, baby. 6'4", 250 from McAllister, Oklahoma. And then Lincoln got some help offensive line-wise. A lot of his lost 4 of his 5 linemen. So you got to get some new guys up front. Well, these guys could help. Players like Jamel Danley. Danley, 6'5", 305, out of East Mississippi Community Junior College in Mississippi. This guy was actually supposed to be at Louisiana Tech the last couple of years. Decided to transfer out and go to junior college. And so now he's at the 4-year university he's always wanted to be at. Speaking of somewhere you always wanted to be at Allen, Texas, Bobby Evans, OL, offensive lineman, 6'4", 260. His dad was a sharp 3-point shooter here at Oklahoma for the Sooners a few years back. So we got that. They also have a kid out of Louisiana, Cody Ford, 6'4", 322 offensive lineman out of Pineville, Louisiana. To your own Hearn Dominic Hearn, not Horn, but Hearn, offensive lineman, 6'3", 288, out of Callis, Texas. And then as the Stoops brother, as Big Game Bob always does, he's got some help from California, from Dannyville, California, Drew Samei, 6'5", 280, offensive lineman out of California. So that's what Lincoln Riley and Dennis Simmons are going to have to mess with. But what about the other new guys? Kerry Cook, defensive back, coach. Jerry Montgomery, assistant defensive coordinator. Mike Stoops, the other defensive coordinator. Well, they got some ends and linebackers to play with. The ends are special. One end especially. So here we go. Gabriel Brooks, defensive end from Mississippi, 6'6", 260. And another end that they have is Kenneth Mann, 6'4", 240, out of Burleson, Texas. They also have an end linebacker, slasher, Eric Striker type. That would be Ricky DeBerry, D-end / outside linebacker, 6'2", 270 from the from the state of Virginia. Up the gut, middleman, keeping one guy local and another guy not so local. The guy not so local, all the way from Canada, don't you know? Neville Gallimore. Gallimore is a 6'3", 303 pounder from St. Catharines in Canada. The other local kid, Marquise Overton, 6'1", 301, out of Jenks, Oklahoma. A couple more linebackers to talk about. Another linebacker to talk about with DeBerry. This guy will actually play a true linebacker. He won't be like DeBerry and play end linebacker. This guy is a true linebacker. And it's Arthur McGinnis, 6'2", 224, out of New Orleans, Louisiana. And got some DB help. Now the DB help is huge. They needed all these guys. But to get this one guy in particular, ho, mama, as Toby would say, Khalil Hawthorne is a 6'1", 178 pounder out of Waco, Texas. They also have William Johnson, 6 foot, 180, out of, he's actually a junior college kid out of Monroe College in New York, junior college kid. The next player on the DB list is PJ Ambassador. Ambassador is a 6'1", 183 pounder out of Pflugerville, Texas. Same city as Samaje Perine from last year. Prentice McGinney is another defensive back that we have. 6'2", 180 out of Dallas, Texas. Also out of Dallas, Texas is Antoine Stevenson, 6'2", 187 out of, like I said, out of Dallas. And finally, DB-wise, Will Sutherland, 6'2", $190 out of Midwest City, Oklahoma. A local kid. Special teams. Last year, of course, as we know, Michael Honeycutt was money. Pretty good his 4 years here at OU. Missed a couple of them later in his career, but we now have to replace that guy, and we will, with Austin Siebert, 5'10", $195 out of Belleville, Illinois. We can find this on YouTube in a practice session, a 75-yard field goal. Now, I don't care if it's a practice. We don't want to talk about practice. We talk about practice. Sorry, AI. But Doesn't matter if it's in practice or wherever, man. You hit a 75-yard field goal, you're a special athlete. And Oklahoma got him. The #1 kicker in the United States. #1 kicker in America. Alright, well that's the breaking down of the recruiting class. After basketball season, we'll start breaking down the football schedule for the Sooners. Find me on Facebook, Harry James Taylor, or tweet me at SoonerFanOK. Thanks for watching, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your summer. I'll see you all back for the preview shows and back, of course, in the fall. Until then, peace out, everybody, and always remember, Boomer Sooner. Take care, everybody.